Hello everybody, and today we will be looking at random number generation in C. So, if anybody has ever made video games, or if anybody knows what goes on inside of a video game, a very, very crucial part to all video games is random numbers. Now what this helps us do is decide on, like say in a role-playing game or something, or perhaps a board game. If you roll a dice, it might decide a number which results in something. Like if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, if you roll a certain dice against someone's armor class, that will result in a certain thing. So, let's get started. And I would honestly recommend this because you will want to know it. So what we can do is we can declare our function called srand up here. I'll explain what this does in a second. So, what this is it seeds our random number. It seeds our random number generator rather. And what that means is it gives it a sort of seed to generate numbers based off of. And what this function here does is it basically just uses time, which is the system time of our machine. So at the moment it is about 20 to 7. And null just means there's no argument here, so it'll just use regular time with no modifications or anything. And this is our seed. So what we can do with our random numbers is we can invoke a special function called rand to generate our number. So let's say we're going to call it randno, and we're going to invoke this random function here. Now this is how you invoke the function, but most of us are going to want to do something particularly specific, because this here could go as high as 2.5 billion, if you recall. So how we do that is we modulus the input to limit the input that it can possibly have. So say we're going to do a D20, which is the basic dice that you use in something like say Dungeons and Dragons, or if you're going to do something like say a dice. If you're going to do something like 6-sided dice, it'll be 6 or instead of 20. But I'm going to do 20 because it looks cooler and it gives them more of a range. So what this does here is this makes it go from 0 to 19. But if we do this here, it makes it go from 1 to 20. And that's our random number generation. And what we can do here is we can display our number and we can see our input. So let's go rand no. And Viola, it is done. So, and that's voila, I just tried to say something somewhat witty, but it wasn't. So let's call it D20, and then we're going to do main.c, and then we're going to invoke our function. So, 18, 17, 17, 2, 17, 7. So it looks pretty random, and it's very random for most people, which is a good thing to have in a video game. So thank you for watching. This was a very, very small tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And again, thank you for watching, people.